Soft hand drill. It's a fun drill to do with your teams. Both your paddles are out, your hands are your paddles. Both your hands are out, left and right, and you're just passing it amongst each other. You can change up the pass, who you pass to, which hand you pass to. A couple things here is you're working on fast twitch, you're working on reaction and awareness. The other thing that we have in this game that we don't really focus on a lot is once we pass the ball, are we ready to receive it again? This is just another element that we can work on in the soft hand drill. Here in our fundamental passing, we have the wrist pass. Here in the wrist passing, you'll see that the arm stays as straight as possible, and you're really utilizing the wrist. Overemphasize the wrist. Snap the wrist with the pass, keeping your arm still. Each offensive player, before they pass the ball, you'll see them elevate past their rib cage. We try to get every player to do this in passing drills. It's more about quality than quantity in your passing. Think about the mechanics of passing. The wrist is the last snap or control of the ball. So if you can strengthen the wrist by using these type of passing drills, you're going to notice more of a snap release as well as being able to pass the ball to your left or your right with a quick relift. The crunch drill. This is another element of mechanics that you have to utilize when you're throwing the ball. Think of a pitcher on the mound. He falls forward with his torso throwing the ball. Here we don't have much of a mound to throw from, so we have to utilize our stomach to throw that ball for us. The above water camera should illustrate that the body is throwing the ball. Notice the arm is not moving much. It's the body that's moving to throw the ball. All the energy is being forced through the stomach, through the arm, through the wrist. All we're doing in these last two drills is try to break down the mechanics as far as possible, utilizing the wrist and the core strength of your body to make passes. This allows us to take the drills to the next level. The cross-face passing drill is one of the hardest things to do in the game of water polo. If you notice here in the players, their body is facing the person they're passing the ball to, not receiving from. You want to break the steps down to less steps, then add more steps. What I mean by that? If you're facing who you're receiving the ball from, you're having to catch the ball, turn your body, and then pass it to your person you want to pass to. Here you notice in this offensive player as he's receiving the ball, his body is already turned, his shoulders are already facing in a throwing motion to the person in front of him. He's receiving that ball above his forehead or a little bit in front of his face, bringing it back in one flowing motion and releasing it to his partner. The other concept you can do here is notice his elevation of the game. When he catches the ball, he's elevating with the ball as they're receiving it, ready to pass to the next guy, eliminating unnecessary steps. Another simple drill, but great for the legs and the motor learning skills. It is so important that every passing drill you make your players or you yourself get out of the water as high as possible. If you get used to passing at your max height, you'll take that skill to the game. If you pass with low positioning, shoulders in the water, chin touching the water, you will utilize that in the game. But if your body is out of the water, you're able to have fast twitch or turn your torso quicker without the resistance. The vertical to horizontal to vertical drill. Just like the game, you're going from the vertical position of receiving the ball to swimming with the ball, back to the vertical of passing the ball. This is a great drill to work on of getting your leading leg to drive it up into your chest to get you back in the vertical. If you notice the underwater cameras, in the vertical position, your breaststroke kick is what starts you and gets you going in your swim, in your horizontal position. And then when you're going from your horizontal position back to your vertical, that leading leg is driving you up for that foundation and get your body back in the vertical. Scoop pass. It's a great pass to utilize when you're in a swimming motion on a counterattack or in a front court when you need to scoop the pass to your offensive player. In the scoop pass, you'll notice the outside hand is the hand that makes the pass to your offensive player. The dive. The dive is a great tool to use in all aspects of the game on a front court offense or a counterattack. The moving into the open pocket or open water without or with the ball. It's a strong, powerful kick breaststroke with the leading hand directing you which way you want to go. If you notice in this passing drill, as the offensive players are receiving the ball, they're moving and diving into an open area with the ball, elevating to a vertical passing the ball. The underwater camera shows from receiving the ball the work rate of the legs, to a big breaststroke kick and the leading hand reaching out in front of them to gain new ground. Once they gain that open water, the leading leg is going to come up into their chest for that foundation and get them back into the vertical. It's important in the fundamental passing that you utilize your legs. The basics of the fundamental passing is all in the body positioning. If you have proper positioning with the split egg beater, you're going to be able to make a great pass to an open player. So this is just the basic drill of step up or leg up, legging up. You're having the shooter go to as high as peak as possible in this drill. In this drill, you want to try to capture your hand and both your legs working at the same time. A strong work rate, allowing your torso to get out of the water. We've talked about this a couple of times, and you can see the shooter, the higher he gets out of the water, the harder and quicker he can rotate his body to have the power on his shot. So in the underwater cameras, you'll notice a big, hard breaststroke kick, almost in that split egg beater. He's got one leg behind him, one leg directly below him. The leg directly below him, you'll notice, is that it's pretty much directly below the leading shoulder, which is his left shoulder right here. The other thing is you'll notice is also that as he's throwing or going through the motion, he's having a long and strong breaststroke kick, which helps generate the force of energy through his legs, through his torso, to his shoulder, his elbow, and his wrist. Remember, the ball has to come off your middle finger. Have that backspin on that ball allows that hard snap at the end. This next shooting drill is a pass, slide, catch, and shoot. Now, what you're trying to teach your athletes or yourself is to keep moving in the game of water polo. The more you stay still, the field blockers can stay and hold you or block you. Now, in this drill, when you pass, your objective is to slide to a new shooting lane, looking at the cage, seeing if the cage is available for a catch and shoot, catching the ball, releasing the ball for a nice near side or cross cage shot. So in this pass, slide, catch, and shoot, you can go from diving to your left to your strong side, around that defender. In this video, you'll see how he comes back to his legs before he catches and shoots. He goes back to the vertical, back to that foundation before he releases the ball. This allows him to actually get as high as he possibly can in the water. There's two ways to go about this. You can dive with your strong hand, snap your legs back underneath you, receive the ball, and catch and shoot. Or the other way is crossover with your leading hand or your left hand if you're a right-hander, across your body, reestablishing a position in a new passing or shooting lane, going directly to your legs and releasing the ball in a shot. The underwater view on these drills, the pass, catch, slide, and shoot, you notice that the player is in his vertical position underwater. And then he goes from his dive into a horizontal position, gaining ground, a meter, at 2 meters, as far as you can maximize your strength, your length. The next, he brings his legs back underneath him, that foundation leg and his leading leg, which establishes his height. His back leg establishes power. H to dive. This is horizontal to dive positioning and shooting. This is a great technique for a player who is swimming down the pool on a counterattack or in an isolation opportunity in the front court where he's in the horizontal position. If you notice the players are taking a couple strokes of the ball, snapping your leading leg underneath them to get them back in the vertical, and immediately going into a dive position, diving one more time to create that space that maybe a trailer behind them is coming after them. So the momentum is going towards the cage. The great thing about this dive right here, it allows the offensive player to have vision of the game, to read the game for that split second, maybe 2 seconds. And then he can see the goalie, react to where the goalie's at, and finish a shot. Very similar to the pass, slide, catch, and shoot. Now we're sliding, catching, and shooting. We're sliding before we receive the ball, as though we're a player on the weak side triangle trying to open up ourselves for a new shooting lane or a passing lane. If you notice, the players are diving into their shooting spot. They're keeping their free shooting hand available for the receiving the ball. That way they can catch and shoot immediately upon arrival of the ball. During your dives, make sure you change directions. Don't always go to one side or the other. Change it up a little bit. Go forward, go to your right, go to your left. Visualize the game in your head prior to this drill. That way you can execute it when the drill does come in a game situation. Again, the basic fundamentals of shooting is continue to create movement. Too often at the young age do we stay in the vertical and stay only in the vertical in our shooting drills, and we just stand out there in lines. These drills will help you recognize creating new shooting lanes or passing lanes around your field blocker. Always remember the best type of shooters are the ones who create for themselves, not for somebody creating for them. Now go out there and create your opportunity.